Welcome back inside the UC, the Ford goaltending matchup tonight. We told you a little bit about Antti Raanta coming off a 23-save victory over the Calgary Flames on Sunday. And at the other end, 36-year-old Nick Backstrom, who in his last 4 decisions, their team has taken 7 out of a possible 8 points. And you take a look at his season-long numbers. The officials tonight led by a couple of Irish Dans, Danny O'Halloran and Danny O'Rourke paired up. Throw him a shillelagh, you might get a break. The linesmen Pierre Rasico and Mark Shuchik. And potentially a very big night for this man with the absence of Duncan Keith. David Rundblad opens the game paired up with Brent Seabrook. Now the most he's ever played this year is 15 minutes. Normally he's down around 9 or 10. So he's going to get a good long look tonight from Coach Q and the coaching staff to see if he can hold his end of the bargain, and he opens up. Paired up with Seabrook to start the game tonight.
And this first period is brought to you by Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Honda dealers.
All right, here's Richards. Going to chip it into the corner, hoping for Versteeg, but Brodin got there first. And Richards took it away, slipped it to Kane, who was checked immediately in the Wild start back. Pominville going wide, looks to center. That pass went all the way through. Held in Brodin, it bounced off a leg and now picked up by the Wild. Minnesota trying to change on the go. Here's Zucker in deep. One of their top goal scorers, Jason Zucker, knocked down by Seabrook. And the puck loose in among the scrum. Finally, the Hawks able to get control, and Rundblad has time to take a look. And everybody was peeling. Wow, he's heading up the ice. His entire forward line changed. What do you want me to do with it now? Here comes a shot from Saad, and a save Backstrom. Rebound taken by the Wild, and Scandella couldn't get it out. Hjalmarsson handed it right back to Scandella. Now the Wild able to get out of the zone. First shift, the puck finds Rundblad. Here we go, boys. Oops, there they went.
Plus the right-handed defenseman playing on the left side as well.
Here's Hossa trying to slip it in front. Backstrom sticks it away. Saad on the other side. Had it knocked into Chicago ice. Oduya's been a +3 in his last 2 games. Goes across to Hjalmarsson, who returns it to his D partner. Long pass was there. Kruger didn't have a stick on the ice. As a result, it's icing Chicago. So we can tell you that your AT&T Uverse starting lines be located at the top of your screen. Bill Quenneville's team has taken 18 points out of the last 20 possible on a terrific run. Nearing a month now. Here's the draw. Coyle rolled it in behind. Nino Niederreiter. Their top goal scorers this season. Niederreiter flipped it back to Falk, who rings it around. Coyle's on this side. The Hawks able to get it back. Now Niederreiter against Hjalmarsson in the corner. Puck loose to Coyle. He dropped it back. Falk, a long clip shot, never got through. Good block. Hjalmarsson. That stung him. I think it hit him in the back of the leg. Hjalmarsson got a bee sting on that one. As the Hawks able to get it out. Now Hjalmarsson has trouble turning to his right there after that shot hit him. The Wild changing here on the go.
It looked like he wanted to make a quick change there, but then look out here.
And nobody knew who was going to play it. Here's a chance. Brodziak, goal post. Kyle Brodziak off a terrible Hawks turnover had a chance. Beat Raanta, but drew iron. Now Scandella gets help on the near side from Folin. He cleared it up the boards, and the Wild able to get it out. Roosevelt. And the puck knocked away. Brodziak dropped it back. Here's a quick shot. Raanta soaks it up. No rebound.
Well, the Hawks had control of this puck, and next thing you know, Kyle Brodziak has it in a slot area, and it goes right off the right post in behind Antti Raanta. And Pat, you made mention the shot blocked by Nicholas Hjalmarsson. He takes that left leg and it just kicks it right out there and catches him on the inside of the left calf. He wanted to go for a change, but he didn't want to leave Johnny Oduya by himself, so he stayed on the ice, and then Oduya ended up turning the puck over.
Zucker slipped it in front. Good coverage there for Stieg, and Kane couldn't get it out. Rundblad following up. Christopher Stieg has some skating room. He'll ring it in there. Now Kane bats it in behind. Versteeg chasing it down. Chris Versteeg came up with a drop to the Rundblad. He weaves, put it across. Seabrook sends it deep. Versteeg, who on Sunday had 7 shots against Calgary. Now here's Seabrook along with easy save. Backstrom, who had a clean look at that wrist. A reminder, as you enjoy a Coleman, look forward to Miller time later in the game tonight. Brought to you by Miller Lite. Patrick Kane in his last 10 games, 6 goals, 5 assists. As Blackhawks have played 31 games so far this season. And there have been only 11 where Kane did not get at least a point. Haula keeps it in for the Wild, but couldn't keep it long. Now Rosendahl able to send it around to Eriksson. He clears it ahead to center. Bickle threw it in there. Short of center when he did. Icing ruled against Chicago.
Well, Hawk fans, text lottery to 242-957 for your chance to win a flyaway trip for 2 to a Blackhawks away game. Text lottery to 242-957 right now and stay tuned for the drawing in the second period. Let's see if my new Blueberry works here, partner. Maybe I can get in on that.
Well, you were all excited about your new technology. Wow.
Moving up in the world.
That away, George Jefferson. All right, now the Wild. Suter leading the rush 3-on-3 into the zone. Here's a shot attempt deflected wide. Now captured by Saad. Ran inside. Sending it in.
Good stick there from Brodin. Really took away any possibility of Saad to make a play.
Is he one of the most underrated D-men in the league, Jonas Brodin?
Pretty
we'll
close.
talk about that in a second as the Wild try to get in, but Vanek's pass picked off.
Beautiful play there from Hjalmarsson coming all the way over on Thomas Vanek. He had to try to elevate that puck, but Hjalmarsson took away that passing lane. I believe he had Granlund busting to the net. It was either Granlund or Parise. Had a breakaway from the blue line in.
Well, they miss on a pass, the Wild. It's icing.
I mean, Brodin is really he was somebody that a lot of people thought, Pat, would be considered for the Olympics last year for Team Sweden. And, I mean, he's a terrific young player and getting an opportunity to play a lot in a lot of different situations and being paired up with Ryan Suter. And that's a heck of a top D pairing with Suter and Brodin.
Now Versteeg. Pass picked off. Bouncing back to the Hawk line, and Rundblad goes to Seabrook. He fires a hot pass to Kane, who's going to step into the zone. Left it Versteeg. Brings it around, looking for Richards on the other side. He got checked. Kane came up with it. Now Rundblad. Needs help from Versteeg, trying to keep it in and bounce free. And now Scandella for Minnesota. They'll send it back into Chicago territory. Koivu rolled it in deep. Zucker bracing for contact. It came from Rundblad. A pass picked off by Rundblad, who fires it into the corner. Just listening to the head of the referee who was standing there. Hey, what are you shooting at me for? And now the Wild able to dump it in, but that's going to be icing Minnesota. They wanted to make some changes, and now, of course, cannot.
Well, fans, don't miss your chance to catch all the exciting Blackhawks action from right in between the player benches. Bid on the CME Group seats through the online CME Group seats auction. For more info, visit ChicagoBlackhawks.com. Hey, Pat, a very special get-well wish to a great Blackhawks fan, Don Kesey, recovering from recent surgery. Want to see Don at the United Center real soon, and maybe at Edmar Foods as well out there in Bensenville.
Right. Sure, when he's in the store, there's never a cleanup on aisle 4.
If there is, the real Ed Olczyk is probably cleaning it up.
Here's Patrick Sharp going wide. Land on a backhand attempt in behind Shaw, helped by Sharp. He centered it, didn't connect with Bickle and Pominville. Sends it back the other way. Now Justin Falk moved it ahead. Roosevelt has to turn. Erickson fires a long pass, well out of the reach of Taves, who got there to save icing. Now Jonathan Taves. Hold it into the corner. Sharp there. His speed picked off by Coyle, who got it out. Here's Brandon Saad. Saad gets the line, leaving Taves. Senator Jose shot blocked. And Oduya checked by Coyle. It's going to be taken by Saad. Chalmerson. Now back to Saad. His shot is blocked. And Falk picked up the loose puck. The Wild are able to get it out. Chalmerson circling and plays across to Oduya. No. Chalmerson has to hack it back into the Wild end after a Blackhawks turnover from Oduya, so it'll be icing Chicago.
Yeah, we talked about Brandon Saad, and from our Xfinity telestrator, here's a perfect example. Watch the speed factor here of Brandon Saad. Stop it right here. He's pushing back this defense here. When he pushes back the defense, it allows him to get the line. Taves cuts in behind, and the opportunity there for Marian Hossa. But it's the speed of Brandon Saad that pushes the defense back, allows him to make that play there. Beautiful job there from Saad.
And a dumping attempt winds up out of play. 8 minutes have gone by here in a scoreless first.
Welcome back to the United Center up at press level. I'm Tracy Myers for CSNChicago.com. Well, the Blackhawks have been great in third periods this season. They've outscored opponents 35-17 in them. So what gives? Why are they so good? Brandon Saad said, I think when you're used to winning and you know how to win, you come ready to play in the third. We want to have a full 60, but it's good to finish strong, too. Pat and Eddie, back to you.
Thank you very much, Tracy, and everybody can follow Tracy, our Blackhawks insider, all season long at CSNChicago.com, presented by Nationwide's Jeff Vukovich. Vuk! Click JeffVuk.com. That's click JeffVuk.com. Nationwide, yes, is on your side.
Well, this is the first of 5 games between the Hawks and the Wild this regular season. And last year, pretty tight season series. The Hawks had 2 wins. The Wild had 3. And the last 3 meetings were all 1-goal games. So usually fairly tightly played. And kind of a feeling out process here early as Versteeg gets in along wrist shot, blocked away easily. Backstrom. Now it's back to Erickson. And Richards a wrister. Backstrom handled that. Nobody near the front of the net for the Red Sweaters that time. And there's going to be icing Minnesota.
Well, next Tuesday, Hawks will take on the Winnipeg Jets here at the United Center. See some familiar faces. Andrew Ladd and Big Buff. You get Chevy Hawks pregame live at 7 exclusively on CSN Plus. The last game before the Christmas break.
Charlie Coyle bouncing out to center. Bickle is going to drop it back. Chalmerson. Give it right back to Big 29. Bickle steps into the Minnesota zone. Trying to drive it up, but the puck didn't come with him. Working against Folin. Koivu rolled it loose. Niederreiter to Fontaine, and it's dumped back into Chicago ice.
Okay, you were talking about the way this game has been going and just, you know, the for Minnesota. I mean, they don't want to get in a trap-beat type of game. I mean, they have a tough time scoring goals, so they want to try to keep it station to station, zone to zone, chip it in, chip it out. And that's the way when you're offensively challenged, and that's what the Minnesota Wild are, and they haven't gotten great goaltending. You got to simplify, and you got to keep it simple, give yourself a chance, and try to frustrate the opponent. And Mike Yeo has done a really, really good job since coming to Minnesota.
Well, Eddie, there are 5 games over 500 entering play tonight, but for the entire last month, they've had a win, then a loss, then a win, then a loss. I mean, they've been unable to string anything together. It's been a 2-point game followed by nothing, and they've been unable to put together any sort of a long run one way or the other. They try to work it out of the corner. Pominville, we worked to give it a go. Nice play, Zucker to Pominville, whose shot went just wide. Jason Pominville's had 2 really good opportunities there in the first half of the first period.
Yeah, they've had a real, I mean, they have not been healthy. I mean, their top 4 defensemen have only played 9 games together, Pat, and those were, of those 9, 7 of them were the first 7 games of the regular season. So, I mean, they're not, you know, they're not deep on the back end, but, you know, that's the way that goes. And that's sometimes you got to play the hand that is dealt.
Centering pass, quick shot. What a save by Ranta. Point blank chance, Granlund, and Ranta able to make a point blanker, and back comes Saad. He drives to the middle, drop to Taves, the backhander. He couldn't get rid of it under tight checking. High Granlund, Taves gets it back. Ericsson's going to bring it, and a save, Backstrom. He wasn't sure where it had gone. As the play continues, Hossa came up with it. Eriksson tried again. Backstrom made the stop. Hossa put it in front. The tip went up high. Came back to Scandella, who rolled it up the boards. And it could only get as far as centers now. Scandella. Well, a real good shift there for the Taves line for Chicago.
And they're generating on the rush through the middle of the ice.
Brodziak put it across. Here's a drive well wide from Sutter. That's Brett Sutter. He was just called up by the Wild from their team in Iowa in the American League. Now Rosendahl will have to play this one. Long pass finds Versteeg. Goes across up over the blade of Richards. Now it's Oduya. He'll get the red line and dump it. With a funny hop off a partition, but wisely Backstrom stayed home. Now a turnover for Stieg. Works a give and go, and the second pass didn't connect. Elmerson's got to turn back quickly. Under pressure from Niederreiter. Get it back in there as they peel off the change. 8 minutes to go in a scoreless first. Koivu stepped in there, then a centering pass at the feet of Fontaine, didn't work out. And it's taken by Bickle. His long feed picked up Sharp. Patrick Sharp dropped it back. Bickle now steams in deep. Turned it over, and Pominville the other way. That rush got gummed up at center. So the Hawks, Rundblad has it back, and on a delayed offside. Good thing for Rundblad. He turned the puck over, but the Wild had not gone to tag up on the offside violation. So the whistle in a scoreless first.
In our Hyundai, what to look for? Minnesota Wild's defenseman Ryan Suter has led all NHL skaters in time on ice in each of the last 2 seasons. Last year, his average was 29-24. This year, he's averaging a little more, which is currently leading the National Hockey League to this point.
Well, let me ask you, we've talked a little bit about this. I watched this kid play, and he just reminds me so much of his uncle Gary. Can you give me the similarities and maybe differences that you see?
Well, I think the biggest difference was, Gary Suter played across the line a lot. Like he was a hard-nosed, dirty at times player. But both great passers, both could really drift the puck, and 2 tremendous skaters.
Now a starting pass, quick shot, they scored. Nice feed from out behind the net from Granlund. It was was poked home by Vanek. One of the bigger disappointments in terms of scoring production for the Wild, but Vanek gets his 4th goal of the season and many in front.
Pat, think about the areas that Minnesota has created and generated most of their offensive opportunities. Where has it come? It's come below the top of the circles. Hjalmarsson turns the puck over. Strength in numbers support. Granlund walks out. The Blackhawks overcommit. And then Granlund moves it one way. And there's Thomas Vanek. Stick on the ice. Blows it right by Antti Raanta. No chance. But the Minnesota Wild with 2 or 3 really good looks, Pat, and they all have come from below the goal line up into the slot area. The Pominville one's the last one that you had mentioned, where he just airmailed it up and over the net.
In saying that, Eddie, now here's another Blackhawks turnover. A chance Niederreiter could block Richards. And the Hawks able to get out. Kane steps into the zone. Able to hang on in traffic. Kane takes a look in front. There's Richards. Oh, the redirect went just wide. Great pass from Kane, and the tip just missed. Now Rundblad trying to keep it in. Bounce into the corner. Versteeg there, centered it. Richards took a whack, it deflected wide. Kane takes over. Well, was stripped of it. But in saying that the Wild have had 3 or 4 really good looks here in the first 14 minutes. I mean, how many great looks have the Hawks had, right? I mean, you know,
maybe 1 or 2 at the most. I mean, probably being generous if I said 2. Yeah. Minnesota's probably had 4 or 5 good looks.
Olean's long one handled that time by Raanta.
Pat, teaching point for all those young hockey players out there. Last opportunity, Xfinity Telestrator. Watch the route that Richards takes. If he goes straight, I think he's got himself a goal, but watch what ends up happening. Where does he go? He goes to the inside and almost comes towards the pass. If he stays to the outside and goes right for the far post, I think he's able to settle that puck down and put it into the back of the net. Bang, bang play, but as soon as he went towards the puck, his angle wasn't great to be able to redirect that puck in towards the Minnesota Wild net.
Right now it's Pominville taken down in the corner. Eriksson. And then Pominville took it back. Dropped it out to the line. Scandella. Hit it up the boards. The centering pass comes through. Foley walks and fires. Oh, that was a good chance, and he fired high and wide, and Carcillo put it back into Minnesota ice. Van Smith got some help from Kruger, whose pass was broken up. Olean got help from Koivu, who's safely able to clear it off the glass.
Probably made that type of play. What would you say, Pat? Probably 8 or 9 times so far. The play that Koivu just made off the glass.
Yeah.
I mean, try not to make a direct pass. Just get into the middle of the ice. So the Hawks got to make sure that they're understanding how the Wild are exiting their zone. If they can make a direct pass, they will, but they're not going to spend much time in their own zone if they're winning those foot races.
Falk able to keep it. Hjalmarsson, though, got it back. Oduya had to just clear it to center. Hawks have to turn right back around. Hjalmarsson bounced it ahead to Sharp. He's got some room to the line, but the dumping attempt actually deflected to Backstrom, who covers with 4.5 remaining in the first. And Thomas Vanek's goal has Minnesota in front.
Well, Hawk fans, text lottery to 242-957. Your chance to win a flyaway trip to see the Blackhawks play on the road. It includes 2 tickets, airfare, and a night in a hotel, the team hotel. Maybe get next to the great Pat Foley. Text lottery to 242-957 right now, and stay tuned. The drawing in the second period. Text lottery to 242-957.
Hope you don't mind snoring. All right, now Coyle and Taves, and Taves got the draw. Coyle able to step in and win that board battle. Coyle took it right away, and now Fontaine will chip it in. Taken by Taves. Able to clear it to center. Now Rundblad dumped it in. Backstrom fires it high off the glass, and the Wild get out. Fontaine will dump it in for a change. Sundblad back. Nice pass to Kane. He gets the line. Put it across. Toews had to pull the trigger, but his shot blocked. And Vanek rolled it loose. Candela into the zone. Parise's pass. Good stick. Toews comes around to Versteeg.
Minnesota's defensive and pretty active.
And then Roosevelt scooped it at Kane. Oh, he tried to glove it to the stick. That's an offside play. If he catches that clean, he puts it down to get a 2-on-1. But it didn't happen that time.
And it's going to be intentional offside, Pat, because Patrick Kane played that puck when he knew it was going to be offside, so the faceoff comes all the way down. I think the right call made by the official. But here's that opportunity. Quick little exit. Getting in behind the defense. Marco Scandella, and Patrick Kane just not able to take in this 25-yard pass from Michael Roosevelt.
All right, Ben Smith in his last 4 games been 15 and 13 at the dot. He goes against Koivu here. Koivu won the draw. Quick shot. Raanta came well out. Good save he made. He got outside the blue paint to challenge that bid.
Did not get a lot on it. That thing was fluttering really the whole way, but Raanta was real aggressive. Like, he came well out on top of the blue paint to cut down that angle.
Brad Richards cleared it in for Kane. Patrick Kane pulls up. Is there a late man? Yes, it's Hjalmarsson. Versteeg now centered it. Kind of a tweener pass. Kane couldn't pick it up. Roosevelt's got to turn quickly. The race is on. He's able to get there. Wild could have had a 2-on-1 if Zucker arrived to the puck first. Now they're able to keep it in. Zucker drives. And now hangs on, slipped it in front. Sutter a shot. Glove save. Raanta was going to go wide, but Raanta makes the glove save and holds it.
We go back to that face-off by the Minnesota Wild. Look at that puck on edge. It actually gets a piece of the left hand of Marcus Kruger as well. And I mean, that's a really, really good stop there from Antti Raanta. Talked a lot about it, Pat. Always enjoyed that puck was on edge just a little bit to go ahead and tee it up, because I didn't know where Naga was going, and for sure the goaltender did not. That was a good save there, and a good job there for Kruger to get in that shooting lane.
Hossa able to bat that out to center. That Parise got sandwiched. Hossa the takeaway. Smith gets in.
Line juggling going on big time here.
Yeah, Hossa is checked, and Granlund brings it around Parise. Fires a long pass. It's read nicely by Hjalmarsson. Now Granlund gets in. We saw his brother the other night against Calgary. Now this is Michael Granlund. Marcus played here on Sunday.
Hey, Pat, I got a quick shout out to the Northwest Chargers Pee Wee 1 team. I understand the entire team is at their coach's house. Mr. Tim Mueller, who happened to coach me a very, very, very long time, so that means he is very old, but having a little teaching going on at the house tonight, so good luck for that Chargers Pee Wee 1 team.
That also means he's very patient. Now it's held in by the Wild. Sutter is in deep. Brett Sutter tried to throw it in front, didn't get their penalty coming up against the Blackhawks. Here's Suter, a long shot, hit traffic in front. Hawks get it, whistle goes, and the Wild with the lead go to the power play late first.
Going to be interference on Patrick Sharp.
Number 10, Chicago, 2 minutes interference.
And referee Dan O'Halloran lets everybody know. So the Minnesota Wild with a real strong push here the last 5-6 minutes, and there's a penalty from Patrick Sharp to push in the back by Haula. And the face-off to the left of Antti Raanta.
Hawks get the draw. Now a corner battle. Dug out of there to Smith. He's able to clear to center. Minnesota's power play They scored 5 goals out of the last 14. That's 5 goals their last 4 games. So this unit's been going well for Minnesota. Pominville with a long shot, sticked away by Runta. Rebound. Shot attempt blocked by Hjalmarsson. It's loose to Smith. He'll clear it in for a change. Final minute now of period 1. Harley Coyle brings it around. Now Koivu kicked it in behind Parise there. Brings it back. Here's Pominville. Moving up the board. Parise goes out to Suter. Long wrist shot blocked by Taves, who had to stick him right out of his mitt. But still able to get help to clear.
Well, Taves had a choice there, Pat. Grab his stick or grab the puck, and then next thing you know, he just waited for Marian Hossa to come there, but got in the shooting lane and helped the Hawks clear the zone.
Now the Wild able to dump it back in. Runta played it to Hjalmarsson, whose pass is picked off. Centering attempt came back to Runta. He'll take a whistle. Oh, and then the stick might have gotten right into the midsection of Hjalmarsson, who quickly buckled. And you can see Niederreiter acting like he didn't mean it, but doesn't make Hjalmarsson feel any better.
Well, what ended up happening, Pat, it was almost like the bowling ball effect. Kruger came in and gave a shot to Niederreiter, and then Niederreiter followed through on Nicholas Hjalmarsson. There's the cross-check and then the push from behind. So just a domino effect right there without doubt. There's the cross-check, and then watch Nicholas Hjalmarsson. He gets a shot right in the midsection, and he goes down like a sack of hammers.
Wild get the draw. Brodin put it across. Here's a lone shot, not getting through. Froline, and the whistle goes to end the opening period. Each team credited with 9 shots in the first 20 minutes tonight. But you would think that, at least the way it looked from up here, the scoring chance edge would probably go to the visitors. The only goal of the opening period coming on a point blanker from Thomas Vanek, set up beautifully by Granlund. 1-0 Minnesota.
Blackhawks hockey on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. Visit buyhyundai.com. BMO Harris Bank. We're here to help. Ford, who invites you to visit your local Ford store or localfordstores.com. Corona Extra. Find your beach. And by Kia. Visit mykiachicago.com to learn more.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois has teamed up with the Blackhawks and moved 2 lucky fans closer to the action as part of tonight's Blue Seat upgrade experience. Don't forget to bring your Blue Cross and Blue Shield card for your chance to win. Blue Cross through it all, and congratulations to tonight's winners. Welcome back to the United Center. The Hawks trail the Minnesota Wild 1-0 as we get ready for the second period. In our Kia Drive to the Net flashback, on this day in 1979, Chicago rookie Daryl Sutter scored his first NHL goal in a 7-3 win over the visiting Detroit Red Wings. Daryl's son, Brett, playing for the Minnesota Wild, is the 8th Sutter to play in the National Hockey League.
And there's Daryl's boy, Brett, who you mentioned has just been recalled by the Wild from their American Hockey League team. He's actually played 54 NHL games before tonight. So he's certainly had several tastes of action at this level. But getting a look tonight from Mike Yeo and the Minnesota Wild.
And I mentioned this to you, Pat, over the years. And anytime I hear Daryl Sutter's name, and now obviously the coach of the Los Angeles Kings, but you know, he was one of those guys that made a huge impression and it had a big impact on me as a young player when I came into the National Hockey League in 1984. Yeah, a long time ago. And he really He really did. And as a young player, you look to elder statesmen that have been around and are the leaders, and he just had a huge impact on my career, both on and off the ice. And it's always great to see him and obviously see his flesh and blood playing in the National Hockey League. And this second period is brought to you by Chevy and ChevyDriveChicago.com.
Parise snapped it off. Fought off by Raanta. The rebound was loose in front. Hacked by Oduya. Yes, Raanta slow to get up, but the headgear stays on. So the referee now, O'Halloran, goes over to have a word with Raanta, and he says play on. In behind, Saad trying to get it in front. That escaped him. Now the Hawks penalty over. Meanwhile, both teams full strength. And here's Kruger coming off the boards. Rolled it back. Seabrook across. Rundblad whiffed. And Brodin rolled it loose. Pominville able to get it out. Brent Seabrook. This pass picked off Pominville. He steps in. Zucker centered it. Here's Koivu to the backhand. Got right around Rundblad. Threw it in front. Nobody home, Minnesota. Hossa the other way. He's got Taves heading for the net. Hossa pulled up, tried to get the puck there, but didn't connect. Now Taves to Sharp. Eddie mentioned it. Some first period line juggling on, going on from Coach Q. And a little bit more here to start the second as Sharp takes a look. Now Taves. Back for Roosevelt. Taves. Roosevelt. He tapped it up the board. Hossa, who has not had a point, Marian Hossa, in 7 out of his last 11 games. This puck knocked free back the other way, and it's going to be icing Wild.
Well, we talked about how Antti Raanta was stunned from that last opportunity, Pat, from our WeatherTech RoboCam. There's the high, hard shot there from Zach Parise coming down those left wing boards. And I mean, Raanta, it looked like it might have hit him in the throat protector there, the plastic part there that hangs down. And he was certainly stunned, and you picked it up, Pat, that the official, Dan O'Halloran, went over to ask him if he was okay.
Now Zucker fighting it against Rundblad. Threw it in front. Nobody able to pick it up for the Wild. Versteeg on the counterattack. Chris Versteeg gets the line. Now spinning in front. Rundblad. Puck was jammed away as he was ready to shoot it. And now Koivu works back to center to dump it. Richards dropped it back to Kane. Now Rundblad. Fires a long bank pass that missed Versteeg. And again Rundblad will put it on the stick of Richards. Kane gets the line. Weaving to buy a little time. Kane hangs on. Takes a look back to Oduya with a long shot. Good save by Backstrom. That might have been tipped. Looked as if Richards got a piece. And Backstrom with maybe his best save of the game till now. Coyle gets in with a shot. Raanta stopped the rebound. Deflected just wide. Now Niederreiter corrals. Threw it in behind. Picked off Sharp. His feed deflecting. And now taken by Seabrook. He looks ahead. Sharp's got it. He drives the net. Shoots one. And a save by Backstrom. No rebound.
Go back to that last opportunity for the Hawks. A shot from Johnny Oduya. And you called it, Pat, the redirect from Brad Richards. Low shot, stick on the ice, and just not able to elevate it up and over the left pad of Nicholas Backstrom. But you like that Richards was in front of the net, and you like that Oduya took the low, hard shot to get it towards the net. So far, the Hawks haven't had many opportunities with people standing in front of the net, going there and hanging around. Everything's got to come through the middle of the ice at some point. Got to simplify the game right now to get the offense going. Chip and chase. Any opportunity to get the puck to the net, you got to start getting it in. And big hit by Shaw, and then the arm came up.
And O'Halloran has...
Is that Prosser that got the arm up?
Yes. And Shaw's headgear came off, and is Prosser going to have a seat?
Well, the officials are having a discussion here, Pat. Andrew Shaw goes up, and there you see the elbow. Prosser protecting himself, knowing that Shaw's coming to take a run at him. But he gets the elbow up and gives a shot to Shaw. His helmet pops off. Right call made, and an opportunity and a half right now for the Hawks. Down by 1 on the power play here in the second.
Well, the Hawks had only 2 chances on Sunday, but got a goal against Calgary. And this wild PK has given up a goal in 3 straight games. And you can see Shaw, he's not happy. Mike Gadsby's taking him back. He is going to take him back for some observation in the locker room after that hit to the head. So the Hawks on the power play here. Kane goes across Seabrook, tried to throw it in front, and came back to him. And Seabrook cleared it in behind. Kane is there. Now Taves. He moves in, drops it to Kane. Kane hangs on. He's looking back door, but Sharp did not come in there. Now here's Taves with a stuff attempt, and a save by Backstrom. Rebound Kane, tried to bank it in off Backstrom alertly. Got the glove there and held it.
Like the quick little play there from Taves and Kane interchanging. Takes it right to the net. That will open up plays down the road, Pat. Might not score on that opportunity, but it certainly will open up, give the Minnesota Wild something to think about. And as you said, Kane trying to bank that puck in, and Nicholas Backstrom, not so fast, Kowalski.
Here's the draw, Seabrook. Now again, Kane. They get Versteeg to the front of the net. Here's Kane. Looks for Versteeg, and a good shot block, Brodin. He deflected it out of play.
Well, the Hawks have gone to 2 low plays, Pat. And when I mean low, below the circles, before the face-off dots. Now, what that's going to do, it's going to draw the Minnesota Wild. Look at Pat, 4 in a picture there. All 4 Minnesota Wild players are down low. So now what you do is you bring them down, and then you move the puck back to the point, and then you attack from the blue line in.
Here's a one-timer, Sharp, and a good block out in front for the Wilds. Brodziak, they clear it. A minute remains on the man advantage for Chicago. Here's Taves. Trying to center. Kane, quick shot. Good save. Backstrom, it's loose. And the Wild Brodin gets it. Now the goal off the moorings. As driving in was Versteeg. He wound up taking the net right off.
Boy, and then Sutter just drilled Versteeg into the net, Pat. Should have been an interference call. Watch in front of the net. Versteeg's going to go to the net. There's Versteeg, and watch this right there. I mean, that's interference.
Versteeg really lucky that it wasn't a more severe jolt to the back of that. Watch this. His shoulders seemed to hit the crossbar. Could have been his head.
Exactly.
And if that would have happened, could have been very dangerous.
I mean, looking at that other replay there, Pat, Versteeg had taken a whack at the puck, but it looked like it was after the fact when he got hit.
Now Saad. Back for Rundblad, getting a little power play time. David Rundblad going to look to Saad. Goes down low. Hossa drive, trying to stop it home. Backstrom said no. Rebound back to the boards. And the Wild able to come up with it with the Brodziak clear. Long pass for Hossa. He gets in with Smith. The pass, and Smith couldn't hang on to it cleanly. Back comes Granlund from Minnesota. Stick handling on Richards. He had the forward back. His eyes got wide, trying to dance him. Now he threw it in front. Parise was checked by Rundblad. Penalty over, both teams full strength. Here's a shot, floating wide. Granlund got it back for Minnesota. In behind, a center attempt missed Parise. And the Wild will have to regroup. They get it into the Hawks zone. Offside is whistled. 6 minutes have been played here in period 2. And the Wild own a 1-goal lead. Hawks have had 14 shots so far in the game, and Minnesota with 11.
Well, we're going to go back to the Blackhawk power play, our Xfinity telestrator. Now watch what ends up happening. This pass is going to go down to Marian Hossa. Now stop it right here. The pass is there, right? Brad Richards goes to this spot. If he goes a little bit deeper, watch the difference here. Hossa takes it. Richards is there. Richards is there. Look where this puck goes. Right to the blue paint. So again, go to the far post. Don't go to the outside. And I know what Richards is thinking on that play is that the pass may come all the way across. So tougher for the goaltender to come all the way out. But I think the point is that you go to that post and then work yourself out from there. But the strength of numbers when you have in front of that, you give yourself an opportunity. Because on that replay, Pat, if he goes right to the blue paint and sticks on the ice, Hosa's just going to bank it off the stick. Now, whether or not he means to or not. But again, go to that far post. And it's the second time now in the game, and easy from up top. But to see where Brad Richards hasn't gone to that far post, might have 2 goals already if you just go to that far post.
Richards looking to break a 5-game pointless slide now. As Hjalmarsson finds Hossa, who gets in there. Marian Hossa with a long shot. In and out of the glove of Backstrom. Now Roosevelt kept it in. Here's Taves taking a look. Taves tried to center. Boy, he had a guy backdoor with Hossa, but he was well covered. And then Brodin for the Wild leads Granlund, who managed to clear it out. Roosevelt's pass bounced loose, resulting in an offside call, Chicago.
We'll celebrate the holidays with CSN Chicago and the Blackhawks each day through December 23rd. We will be giving away great prizes during Hawks Holidays. To see all the prizes and enter each day, visit csnchicago.com/Hawks Holidays. Quick birthday shout out, Pat, to Doug Rosen. Happy 38th birthday out there in Northbrook, Illinois. Hope you're enjoying the game here tonight.
Now Seabrook goes up the board sharp. Bounce it ahead. Missing Smith was knocked down with a high stick, so the whistle goes. And we've complimented Mike Yeo a couple times with the Minnesota Wild, and with all the injuries they've had coming in here, +5. But, you know, when you look at their wins, Eddie, they've got 16 wins, but only 5 of them have come against current playoff teams. But they've been able to fatten up on the lower likes of, you know, I mean, Colorado's in last place. They got 2 wins against them. They got 2 wins against almost last place Arizona. They got 3 wins against last place Dallas. So, you know, they've done what they've needed to do in terms of getting the points that are available against some of the lesser lights in the NHL, but their challenges have been to play as well. Tough challenge for anybody to play as well against the upper echelon teams. I mean, they do have wins against, you know, a good Islander team and a good Montreal team. They beat some good clubs, but the vast majority of their victories have come against the lesser lights. Here's Versteeg. Back to Seabrook. He tees it up. Score! Brent Seabrook! A blast high to the stick side. We're tied.
Great patience all the way around here on this rush. Patrick Kane, stop it right here. Kane's going to drive the net, and what does this do? This buys some time for Kris Versteeg to see what's happening. And here comes Brent Seabrook. Nobody comes out to block that shot. Backstrom can see it, but he can't stop it. The hard, heavy shot from Brent Seabrook. The beautiful play from Kris Versteeg. And it all was made by Patrick Kane by making the pass, driving the net, pushing back the defense, and opening up that passing lane.
Now Sharp stripped away. Brodziak comes out. Brodziak cleared it across. Here's Scandella. He took a whack at it, went well wide. Now the Wild dig it out. Good stick there, Rundblad, but a penalty coming up Chicago. Hawks get it, whistle goes. So right after a game-tying goal by Seabrook, a slashing violation against Eriksson, and the Wild will have a power play chance to regain the lead.
Chicago, number 34, 2-minute slash.
Yeah, there's the one-handed slash by Eriksson, and it's the first time we've seen this defensive pair there, Pat, on the ice. We had Eriksson and Rundblad on the ice after that Blackhawk power play, and Eriksson got on the wrong side of the pile on that play, and the Minnesota Wild with a man advantage.
The Blackhawk penalty was called.
Hoyle works in the corner, dropped it back to Suter. Now Koivu got Parise in front of the net. Here's Suter. Works a little give and go. Koivu fired a one-timer. Oh, and he had Runta skidding to his left. The shot missed right. Held in by Suter. Parise, I should say Koivu. Goes down to Parise. He rolled it back to Suter. Pominville's one-timer. Good save by Runta with the right pad. Rebound to Kruger. And he's able to clear. Fortunately, he broke his stick in the clearing attempt, so there's not much mustard on it. But luckily for the Hawks, they're able to make some changes. Because if Suter keeps that instead, the same four have to stay on. Now some fresh legs, and there's two of them right there. Tay is breaking up a rush. He's out with Hossa. A minute for the Wild power play. Suter with a ring around. Held in by Koivu. Comes back to this side. Hossa bothering Parise. Hoyle takes it up for the Wild. Mikko Koivu for Zach Parise. Taking away Seabrook. His clear, held in Suter. Hossa able to knock it off his stick. Now the battle is on, but Suter able to stay in Hossa's way, preventing a shorthanded bid. Niederreiter back into the Hawk zone. Elmerson knocked it away to Kruger clearing. One last power play rush for the Wild. Brodin moved it ahead. Pass deflecting offside is the result. Well, the Wild will be 0 for 2 on their power play tonight. Being the Hawks in their last 75 times short. They've only given up 6 goals against. That's over 27.5 games. Richards gets into Kane, moves, and centered it. Here's a shot. Oh, and the attempt from Eriksson. He shanked it wide. No, Foligne's pass deflected. That'll be an offside play at the Hawks line. 9 minutes to go in the second period. The Hawks and the Wild even at 1 with a game-tying goal from number 7 in red.
Well, it's good to see Andrew Shaw back on the Blackhawk bench. He's gone for a good 5 or 6 minutes as he drew a penalty, and it was Nate Prosser that got the forearm and elbow up and hitting Shaw. As that play developed very slowly behind the Minnesota Wild netminder.
And now a steal by Kane. He moves in, shooting. What a save by Backstrom. It was knocked down with a high stick. The Wild next to play it. The whistle goes. I think Backstrom challenged very little in the opening period. He's been tested a little bit more often here in the second.
Yeah, the giveaway by Marco Scandella. He's down, he's down, he's down, and Patrick Kane just not able to elevate that puck quick enough. Did everything right, just got in a little bit too tight, so the angle to get that puck up under the crossbar was a little snug. A real good opportunity by 88.
Face-off win and a shot handled by Backstrom. Kind of a leaping stop on the Versteeg wrister.
Mentioned the forward lines, Pat. changing up towards the end of that first period and a little bit here in the second, but on the back end certainly has changed now with Eriksson and Rundblad on the ice together now. I think this is their second or third shift together, 5-on-5.
Eriksson back here. It's cleared up the board. Missing Kane. Suter kept it. And almost able to get it out. Versteeg kicked it to Kane. Patrick Kane. Two Hawks wound up on the deck. And the pass in front. Here's Kane. Save! Backstrom. The initial shot from the other side hit Backstrom. Kane right over to Kane. Well, he fired it, but Backstrom stopped him.
Yeah, the big collision, Eriksson and Versteeg, and Eriksson popped right back up onto his feet, fired that puck to the front of the net, and it worked its way all the way over to Patrick Kane, and the puck is finding that man right there in the offensive zone quite a bit. He always wants it, Pat, but there are some shifts where the puck just comes to you, and right now it's going to him.
Taves grabbed by Scandella. The battle continues, and Taves got away from him. Desaad, here's the shot. Came right to the blue paint. Now picked up Oduya, lets it go. That missed. And it's held in by Seabrook. Taves in deep. In front, Hossa. He scored! Marian Hossa set up by Jonathan Taves. And the Blackhawks lead for the first time tonight.
Well, you call this a hard-working shift, and it all starts with the captain below the goal line. The Hawks are winning foot races, time and space. Marian Hossa just shovels this puck under Nicholas Backstrom. But look at the patience, waiting for Hossa to get there. And how often do we talk about it, Pat? You got to get inside the dots. You got to have the willingness to go to the net. And when you have the skill level of some of the Blackhawks offensive forwards, if you get open, you're going to get the puck, and that's exactly what Hossa did. Went to the net, but we saw it beautifully there. Taves waited at the last possible moment for Hossa to get as close as he could without being checked, and the Hawks with a 2-1 lead.
All right, now the Wild, Brodin. Moves it back into Chicago ice. It bounced loose to the corner. Kruger. And it knocked away. Roosevelt there to corral it. And the Wild keep it in. Bannock's pass picked off to Smith. And Ben Smith kept it in deep. Bickle coming on a change. Got help from Kruger. Then Bickle. He got turned around back of the net. And Jonas Broder, I should say Ryan Suter, bounce it to center ice. Back comes Bickle. Ryan Bickle, checked by Brodin. Now Sharp, rolled it back. Here's Rundblad. Eric Paula couldn't corral it. Suter then did. And the puck cleared into Chicago ice. Eriksson. Pass picked off. The Hawks will have to turn back.
Hit by Bickle on Falk right in front of the penalty box.
And the puck finds Bickle here, but he missed Sharp with a pass. Sharp was going for a change. Puck found him. He stays out to give it to Shaw. His shot handled by Backstrom. You're at the end of a shift. You're tired. Puck comes to you. I got life. And Marian Hossa with his 6th of the year, set up beautifully by the captain. Puts the Hawks in front.
Well, time now for our BMO Harris Bank check replay. Brian Bickle with his 5th hit of this game. Pat, I want to go back to the goal by Marian Hossa. Watch the patience of Jonathan Taves below the goal line. Wait. And he lets Hossa get as close as he can. And Hossa heels that puck, and it goes right under the legs. Yeah, maybe a soft goal, but just the patience.
Quick shot by Kane, handled by Backstrom. Now the puck picked up on the Wild. Brodin. Put it up the boards, Niederreiter. He's bothered by Versteeg. Hawks keep it in. Kane. Pass picked off, and he and Brodin get together in the corner. Versteeg got the puck. Richards to Kane, who doesn't have a stick. Well, that allows the Wild to get control of it. Then it bounced right back. It was off the broken stick.
It was right off a Kane stick. I told you he's finding the puck is finding him. Whether he has a stick in his hand or not, it finds the stick and ends up right on net. I don't think he gets a shot on goal for that, but we'll put that in our stats book up here. I'm sure our great stats man Tommy Skokna will have that in crayon over there.
Well, the Wild in this period, Eddie, we played 15 minutes. They've had only 4 shots. And the Blackhawks have had 16. It's dumped in by Zucker.
Since that shot from Parise that hit Raanta really high, Pat, they've had nothing since that shot, really.
But it really seemed like in the first period, the first 15 minutes or so, they're just trying to check. I mean, it's kind of a feeling out process. And Eddie mentioned the Wild is not a team that generally is going to fill the net on you. You have to be good team defensively. But the things that open up here in the second for the home side, as much of the play's been down here to our right in the second period. Saad. Now left it for Hossa. Hossa checked by Granlund. Moline had it, lost. Hossa got it back. Tried to feed Saad, who was well covered. Now Seabrook to Oduya. And Eddie mentioned the deep pairings have changed up here as the second period has gone on. Saad's got it. Spins to his forehand. Couldn't get away from Scandella.
Keep working like this, you're going to draw a penalty.
Here's a long shot. That hit some traffic out in front. As Smith had been upended, held in. Smith right in. Big save back to Reba. And it got behind him and they scored. Jonathan Toews going to get the goal. The captain's the guy who set up Smith to start the sequence. He started it. He finished it. Toews makes it 3-1.
Don't believe Brandon Saad's going to get an assist on this goal. But he did a lot of the hard work. And Toews lifts up the stick on the back check. Watch this right there. That takes away the puck from Folene. Backstrom, you only can ask your goaltender to make a couple of stops. And then Jonathan Toews, where does he go, Pat? Goes right to the blue paint. And the puck is laying there. And he chips it in past a sprawling Nicholas Backstrom. Great work by Smith, but Brandon Saad did a lot of the heavy lifting.
Here comes Kruger right off the draw, but he lost it. Smith was checked also. Granlund the other way. Parise put it in deep. Taken by Hjalmarsson. Able to hoist it out.
Blackhawk goal his
Now it's taken by Smith. Works his way into the zone. Tried to shoot. Granlund blocked it. And here comes Bickle from in behind.
Assisted by Smith at 16-21.
Put it out in front. A shot attempt by Shaw blocked. Brodin able to clear it the other way. Patrick Sharp chipped it into Andrew Shaw. His shot is blocked by Suter. And Sharp put it in front. Did not connect with Bickle. Ericsson's got the turn quickly. Got help there from Rundblad. Now Shaw will drop it back. And the Hawks misfired a pass attempt, but icing washed out, so we play on. Falk rolled it loose, and here come the Wild. Paula sends it deep. Now Nate Prosser put it around the boards. Brodziak had a dance on Rundblad. Threw it in front. Quick shot. Had a good block by Versteeg, who got in the way of Paula's bid. Rebound. Came back to Raanta. He's able to hold on.
Boy, Holla with a chance on the forehand, and then the puck came right back to him. It was bouncing on the backhand. Beautiful little play there from Kyle Brodziak. There's Holla. Now watch, he's going to track this puck middle of your screen. He's going to find it on the backhand, and Raanta's able to track that puck if it was moving side to side.
Now there's Holla, who, of course, played at the University of Minnesota, Eddie, and his dad is actually a football coach in his homeland. He's the coach of the Turku Trojans. And I'm not sure who they play, but I think if they ever had a game against the Bears, it might be quite a battle. The Turku Trojans, I think there might be a 3-point favorite on the Bears. All right, here's the draw. That was kind of unfair, but maybe not. Here's the Parise. Seabrook got together in the corner. Coyle won the puck, though. Charlie Coyle. Upped it back. Olaine rings it around. There's Parise looking to throw it in front. It bouncing. Scandella with a shot. Good save by Raanta. Rebound is held in by the Wild. Niederreiter's in deep. Parise couldn't get out in front. Instead, Steve cleared the zone. Final minute of period 2. Seabrook's long pass finds Hossa. He moves toward the net. Hossa with a wrist shot to save Backstrom. The puck came back to him. He covers it up.
Well, the new and expanded Blackhawks store is now open at 333 North Michigan Avenue and ready for this holiday season. Come in and check out the new brands, dynamic interactive displays, limited edition products, memorabilia, and autographed collectibles. Visit ChicagoBlackhawks.com for more info, and I'm sure those people are talking about that. But they got to get to 333 North Michigan Avenue.
All right, here's Rosimow's long flipper. That's gloved by Backstrom. It came loose, and Suter there. Half a minute left. Taves fights off a check, threw it in front. It deflected before reaching Hossa. And Zucker the other way, could only get as far as center.
Nice play by Chalmerson to knock that puck out of midair.
Zucker rolled it loose. Hollywood dumped it. And that is going to finish the second period. The Wild finished with 8 shots in the period. The Blackhawks had 21. And through 2, it's 30 for Chicago and 17 for Minnesota. 3 straight goals by the Hawks. The first on a Seabrook snipe. The second one came from Marian Hossa, assisted by the captain. And then the captain got one of his own on the setup from Smith.
Blackhawks hockey on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by AT&T Uverse. AT&T Uverse high-speed internet. The Uverse revolves around you. Call 1-800-PIC-ATT.
Look at that beautiful scene in Millennium Park. They're skating outdoors there. They're skating indoors here. As the Wild trail the Blackhawks by a pair, getting ready for third period play. Before that happens, we get a chance to talk to assistant coach Mike Kitchen, brought to you tonight by Pace Madison Stadium Express. Seemed like a pretty dramatic difference between the first and the second period. Kitch, what in your mind kind of got the foot on the gas pedal for your team?
Well, it was night and day between the 2 periods. I think we got our legs under us. You know, we've been playing a lot of hockey lately, and then we had the day off yesterday, and we kind of got our mindset going there in the second period. We had to address a couple issues. We had to get pucks at the net, and that's something that we approached before the game, and we just didn't seem to follow up with it. But it's something that in the second period did a much better job getting the pucks to the net. Like you look at Patrick Kane there, he had like 4 shots in that off slot just above the goal line there. But you know, it creates a lot of chances, and his coverage after the shot's very difficult.
Hey, Kitch, the support on the cycle in the offensive zone is really such an important part. Can you just kind of take us through what you guys are looking at and how it really changed from the first period to the second period?
Well, the biggest thing is that I thought we were too stationary on our cycles before, and then we started meeting the puck. You know, we'd come and do the puck. We weren't getting a puck standing still, so every time we met the puck on the cycle, we had motion, and it's hard to have coverage in that area down low because we're already moving through that puck area.
Hey, Kitch, obviously a big loss with number 2 not available tonight. Who stepped up in your mind? There's a lot of minutes to eat up there.
Well, you know what? We're trying to spread it out. I think Eriksson and Rundblad have really stepped up and played well. You know, they played a very safe game, keeping the puck in front of them, keeping it ahead of them, getting it deep, making sure plays. And I think that's what is really important for us.
All right, good luck here in the third. Thanks for a couple minutes.
Thanks, guys.
All right, underway now in period 3.
And this third period is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places.
Icing Chicago right away here.
Yeah, we always like to give our great Blackhawk fans and hockey fans all around watching the game here tonight some news from around the league, and we just got a text saying that the game between the Washington Capitals and Florida Panthers have gone through all the players in the shootout, a 20-round shootout.
Good heavens. Who's next, the goalies? I think we ought to do that.
I think you might be looking for the training staff.
All right, penalty here is Kruger he's going to get a penalty as Scandella went down, or I should say Koivu, sorry, and the Hawks are going to be short-handed her right off the hop in the third.
And to finish that off, Florida ended up winning the shootout. And there you see a little bit of the wraparound. I think the free hand got wrapped around Koivu, so a holding call and an opportunity here for the Minnesota Wild. And talked about how good the penalty kill has been all season long, Pat, and I don't think you could not talk about the penalty kill. As there you see Koivu getting some medical attention. You cannot talk enough about Marcus Kruger, the job that he's done in the face-off dot and being on that first rotation, regardless of who he's been with. He's been just sensational at that all season long.
Granlund goes down low, then has it back. He dropped it out. Suter goes across. Here's a long shot. Pominville, he put it up off the glass, and it took a crazy hop off the partition right to Taves.
Almost took off the helmet of Ryan Suter there. That cleared by Taves.
Granlund gets back in. Maurice rings it around. Pominville bounced it to the middle. The clearing attempt hit the skate of Smith. He chased it down, couldn't get there. Now a pinching Pominville. Able to keep it in for Minnesota. Taves steals. Nice backhand pass, but then the clear from Smith didn't get out. He dropped his head when the puck was held in beautifully. Pominville. Who's got it? Jason Pominville looking for a lane. Put it to Granlund. They get Coyle in front of the net. His tip right on. Good save, Runta. Charlie Coyle, a neat deflection with his back almost to the net. He tipped it right on. Runta managed to make a fine stop. Now Nino Niederreiter will drop it back. 45 on the Wild power play. And here they come, Brodin. Vanek cleared it in. Niederreiter snapped it off, and a save. Runta, he had it, lost it, and the Hawks able to get it back the other way. One last power play rush here from Brodin and the Wild. Vanek just not sure where he was passing that. Went right to a Hawks player. Thomas Vanek has the Wild goal tonight. That's just his 4th of the year. Now for Vanek, this is his 10th year in the league. He's never had fewer than 20 goals. And the year he got 20 was the lockout shortened season. As wraparound is handled here by Runta. So for the Minnesota Wild, I mean, they are really hoping that he will find his form, because he's obviously had many distractions in his life going on, but they need him to play better than he's played or finish better than he's finished.
Yeah, especially on the power play, Pat. I mean, that's the biggest thing. And talking about the power play, there's Michael Granlund. You mentioned a beautiful redirect there from Charlie Coyle. That was really the best look that the Minnesota Wild had, but just finishing up on Thomas Vanek. I mean, coming to the Western Conference, that's a different animal. I mean, Vanek's strength isn't his skating. but certainly getting to the front of the net and being a difference on the power play is, and that's one of the reasons why they brought him in there. He's played with a lot of different guys, and we're paying a guy a boatload of money over 6+ a year. You got to be expecting at least 20 to 25 goals and 10 to 12 of those on the power play.
He's played collegiately at the U of Minnesota. I believe his wife is from there, and everybody expected that this move was going to happen. It's been expected for over a year that he wind up back in Minnesota when he became a UFA, but the early part of his days with the Wild have not been as productive as all were hoping. Here's Kane into the zone. He mishandled. And it's cleared to center. Granlund tipped it deep. Roosevelt back. Bounce it out to Versteeg. Versteeg gets the line. The puck escaped him, and Parise cleared it into the zone. Back to Zach Parise. Taken away by Richards. He's going to look to Kane. Patrick Kane gets the line. Shoots one. And a blocker save by Backstrom. Granlund the other way. Dumped it in for a change. Brent Seabrook looks for Shaw. He was checked by Pominville. Justin Falk cleared it into Chicago ice. Hooker got pushed to the deck by Seabrook. Oduya looks to Bickle. Here comes Sharp, who stripped up it at center ice.
Played by Prosser there. Good stick. Sharp had some momentum there. Thought Sharp maybe was going to try to chip and chase in behind, but good play there from Prosser.
Here's a chance for Koivu, center Pominville. Good save by Runta. That's as far as he's been out of the net in 2 months. But he knew that Pominville had just one thing to do. He came out to meet the challenge.
Well, time now for our GMC professional grade save. Beautiful pass there from Koivu. Pominville's had a couple of real good looks in this game, and real aggressive goaltending. Puck was on edge. Good back check there from Patrick Sharp. And think about that shift for Patrick Sharp, Pat. He was the one that was skating the puck into the zone. It got taken away. Good play by Prosser, and then who comes back to really deny Pominville a really good quality scoring chance there because of the good stick and a good back check there from Patrick Sharp.
Well, Antti Raanta has played 6 games so far this year. In half of them, he's given up either nothing or 1 goal against. So, love to be able to keep that in place with if you can go better than 500, or better than half the games you play with only nothing or 1. Here's a chance, and Coyle shot it wide. Scandella bounced it in deep. And Saad sends it the other way. Scandella pressured by Saad. Hossa got in there. He jammed it loose. Here's Hjalmarsson. Let it knock back into Chicago ice. This has been the pairing here most of the last 2 periods. Roosevelt and Hjalmarsson have been together. Seabrook and Oduya have been together. And then Rundblad and Eriksson have formed the 3rd pair for the Hawks D. As Roosevelt, who is in his 15th consecutive game tonight. It's been a couple of years since he's had that long of a stretch of consistent times in the lineup. This pass missing, though, icing Chicago.
Hey, Pat, a belated birthday shout-out to one of our own, to our technical director, Joe Vinci, who turned 49 years of age yesterday. So a belated happy birthday to Joe. And also, Pat, on Friday night out at the West Meadows Ice Arena, there's going to be a memorial hockey game in the honor of Joss Strutz. The Strutz Memorial Award and game have a big influence on the award in my name, so I encourage everybody to get out to the West Meadows Ice Arena on Friday night.
Suter to Granlund, a shot right on. Good save, Runta. Granlund gets it back. Brodin's one-timer. Tip, good save and a redirect rebound. Taken by the Hawks. Kane out of harm's way. Kane floats it out. There goes Richards with a pass that jumped away from him. Antti Raanta come up with a couple of good stops here in the last few shifts. Now the Wild Suter, who in the first 40 minutes was on the ice for 19 of them. Good stick at the line by Seabrook. Now Nate Prosser at the Minnesota D. Falk cleared it deep. Justin Falk had it taken away. And it's dumped in there by Kruger.
The puck is taking some crazy caroms here tonight. Goaltenders see that puck up in the glass, you stay home. That puck has been taking some really goofy bounces.
Pominville's long feed. They're going to get a breakaway. Niederreiter right to the net, to the back end. Save Runta! And a penalty coming up. Might be a penalty shot. Nino Niederreiter is going to be awarded a penalty shot by Dan O'Halloran. He pulled it to the backhand that Raanta denied. But now the most exciting play in hockey will set up Niederreiter against Raanta.
Yeah, it was Marian Hossa that was back on the back check. Quick developing play, and Niederreiter with real good speed, but Hossa comes back, tries to get the puck, upends him, right call made on the ice. There comes the penalty shot.
The first time he's ever had it. A penalty shot in an NHL game. Nino Niederreiter. He walks in up the middle of the backhand, and he scores. Big play by Nino Niederreiter. Almost the same move he used on the breakaway that was denied. He went right back to the backhand, and now it's 3-2.
Are you talking about getting this puck upstairs? This puck pops right under the crossbar into the netting. Almost pops the water bottle right off its holder. But just a beautiful move. Forehand, backhand. No chance for Raanta. And it's a 3-2 game.
Well, Nino Niederreiter, who leads the Wild, we just showed you that's his 14th goal. This kid's just 22 years of age, and he's got 14 now. The veteran Parise has 11. He's 30. But Jason Zucker he's got 11 goals too. That kid's just 22. So some of the top snipers for the Wild here, first half of the season, have been their kids. All right, Nino Niederreiter takes it over to Folin.
Former first-round pick of the New York Islanders, Niederreiter.
It's going to be icing Wild.
Well, Thursday night, check out a brand new episode of Blackhawks All Access. Go beyond the game and behind the scenes with your favorite hockey team. Thursday at 8:30 on CSN Chicago.
Now the draw. Big hit by Bickle, and that's his second of the period, Eddie. That is the 7th hit of the game for Brian Bickle, who has just been a force here the last several outings. He walks in now with a shot. Put off by Backstrom. Rebound is loose. Where's the puck? Finally, Prosser came up with it and banked it out to center ice. Brian Bickle in his last 4 games before. Here's a chance for Brodziak. Good stick, though, by Oduya. Johnny Oduya settles it down for Chicago. Fires it out to Bickle at center. It's jammed away from him, and that's an offside play. Bickle in his last 4 games before tonight had 13 hits, and he's been credited with 7. With still half the third period to go tonight. He's the hit leader for the Hawks, and he's been a force of late.
Well, you still have time to exercise your right to vote. Cast your vote for Taves, Kane, Sharp, Keith. Hope Dunk's feeling better. Seabrook and Crawford. Every ballot you cast is another chance for you to win a trip to the NHL All-Star Weekend in Columbus, Ohio. Visit NHL.com, vote, and vote today. And the updated numbers, and not even close with Zemgus Girgensons. The Blackhawks well represented, and also PK Subban. That starting lineup.
Here's a puck for Hossa, just barely out of his reach. And Suter cleared it ahead. Granlund been out there a lot for Mike Yeo. He dumps this one in. Now a centering attempt, just barely missed. And now Brodin. Bounce to Granlund, rolled it into the Hawks zone. Parise now faked the shot, could not make the play, and back come the Hawks. Carcillo trying to split the D, and Suter took it off his stick. Granlund got as far as the line. Carcillo took a big run at him and drilled it into the sideboards.
And Vanek took a run at Smith.
Oduya bothered here by Falk. It's loose to the corner. Zucker had it knocked away to Ben Smith. He managed to trickle it out. Now Zucker going wide on Seabrook. Cummins put it in behind. Koivu there. Rolled it back. Here's Scandella with a one-timer. He scored! Marco Scandella, and a good screen by Zucker right in the kitchen of Antti Raanta. The Wild have tied the game at 3.
Well, Folene throws this puck across the blue line pad, and Scandella doesn't stop it, and just one-times this puck. And to your point, watch in front of the net. No way for Antti Raanta to see this. Jason Zucker did a tremendous job here of taking away the sight line right here. I mean, that's a double screen because you got Oduya there, you got Zucker there, and Scandella airmails this puck upstairs, and threes are Wild here in the third.
Well, Marco Scandella, who just came back in the Wild lineup, he was suspended for 2 games for a bad hit. This is first game back, and he gets the game-tying goal for Minnesota. Now out of the corner, Richard shot it and stopped by Backstrom. Back the other way.
Minnesota goal is
Will it go far enough? No icing. Now Kane had it, lost it. Coyle centered it. Here's a chance. Oh, and Niederreiter couldn't pull the trigger. Great play by Rosvold without getting a penalty. That should have been a great chance for one of their best snipers, Niederreiter. I believe it was Rosvold managed to prevent the opportunity. Seabrook with a pass well in front of Sharp. He chased it down. Brodin took a piece of him, though, and it's cleared back to center. Rundblad pressured. Penalty coming up Sutter. Brett Sutter's going to get a Minnesota penalty. Well, the Hawks power play will get a chance to put the home team in front. 6 attackers here for the Hawks, with the goalie off to the bench. 27. So Eriksson takes a look. The Rundblad. Sharp to Eriksson. And now the whistle goes. So the Blackhawks will get a chance for the tie-breaking goal because of this play by Brett Sutter. The hooking on Rundblad. It'll be a man advantage when we come back.
Well, time now for our AT&T U-verse upcoming schedule. Only 3 more games before the Christmas break. Hawks will be in Columbus, a very hot Columbus Blue Jacket team. The Hawks will be back here for 2 games, one against the red-hot Toronto Maple Leafs. Now 10-1-1 in their last 12 games. They took care of the Anaheim Ducks at home tonight. Let's see the final score. They're probably 6-1, 6-2, something like that. And then the Jets are in town.
But on the Hawks power play now, Seabrook rings it in deep. Taves got help from Kane. Sharp back to Kane. Patrick Sharp looking for a lane. Put it to Kane. He lets it go. We just missed the far post. Held in Seabrook. Versteeg's at the front of the net. Taves has got it. Kane's back door. There's the pass. It jumped away. This is the puck arrive. Now Kane. And Versteeg really getting worked over by Scandella in front of the net. Here's Kane taking a look. Sharp's back door. The pass intended for him. Did not connect. Held in Seabrook to Kane. Seabrook's one-timer. Save Backstrom. And there's Prosser giving the business to Versteeg.
Well, you got to pay a price to be on that #1 power play unit, and Chris Versteeg certainly doing that in front. But the battle in front, the opportunity, the battle level. And also you got to worry about retrieving loose pucks when they're on either side of the net or into the corner, and the near miss from Patrick Kane earlier on that power play.
Face-off win Wild. They get it out 70 for the Hawks power play. Richards' pass was intended for Saad. They'll have to chase back. Rundblad and Richards, the power play point men of the second unit now. Richards gets into Saad. Now Shaw dropped it back. Rundblad works the give and go. Now walks in. He'll take a look back to Richards. Richards along flipper, blocked. Trickled back to the boards. Hossa there. Now Shaw wants Hossa. Arian Hossa rolled it back to Brad Richards. Then David Rundblad. He finds Hossa, who shoots. Good block out in front by Brodin. Hossa gets it back. Tried to center side. Well covered, though. And the Wild Zucker put it back the other way. That finishes the Chicago power play. Now both teams are at full strength. Taves into the zone. His shot blocked. Niederreiter backhands it to center. Sharp back into the offensive zone, trying to drive the goal. Stripped of it before he could pull the trigger. Parise from Brodziak. Now Jalmerson, helped by Kane. Kane works back into the offensive zone. He hangs on, centered it, picked off by Foley. Now Brodziak put it across to Parise. Able to clear the Wild zone. Back in comes Kane. He's out there with Taves and Sharp. Kane hangs on here. Chipped it into the corner. Taves brings it around Seabrook. Patrick Sharp for Jonathan Taves. Kane front of the net. The pass attempt didn't get there. Picked off by Backstrom, who holds. We get down to 5.5 remaining in regulation. Tree into Turd. We told you earlier it would happen. It's here now. Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite, and the game-tying goal by the Minnesota Wild. Marco Scandella through the screen provided by Zucker. And that brought the Wild back to even after they had scored a penalty shot goal earlier in the period by Niederreiter. Scandella got that in his return from a suspension, scoring halfway through the third, and so the 3-1 lead has evaporated, and now we're even. Here's Oduya, long flip shot, hit the skate of Versteeg, who then held it into Kane, put it across Richards, a shot, save, Backstrom, rebound to the Wild. And to Brodin, able to get as far as center. Richards back into Versteeg. His long wrist shot went wide. Oh, Versteeg out of the corner, center to Kane. His shot is blocked. Brodin. Versteeg works it loose. Back to Oduya, then Seabrook. Kane was forced back out of the zone, and the whistle goes. And a penalty coming up against the Wild as Kane was hooked.
It's going to be on Haula.
Minnesota Mark 56. Look.
Well, there you see the stick get around the waist of Patrick Kane by Erik Haula. And Ryan Suter was hollering at the referee after he made that call. What an opportunity here for the power play.
It's just the third man advantage tonight for Chicago. The last one occurred just a moment ago, and really very little got done with that one, but the Hawks have had 4 shots in their first 2 unsuccessful power plays this evening. Seabrook with a dump. Scandella pressured by Versteeg. Now Chris Versteeg came up with it. Kane out of the corner, Taves front of the net. But now the pass picked off by Brodziak. He weaves back into the Hawk zone. Fakes, goes wide. Centered it. That's picked off by Kane. Patrick Kane into the offensive zone. Dropped it to Versteeg. Seabrook wants Taves. Versteeg to the front. Kane's got it. Now Taves. Looks in front. Sharp is back door. Here's Kane trying to center. Oh, that hit a leg and went in. That might have been an actually hit a Minnesota player and bounced into the net. Well, the Blackhawks forcing it off a bad bounce. Maybe it hit Brodin, and the Blackhawks incredibly have regained the lead.
Well, the same type of setup that the Hawks had on their power play goal the other night against the Calgary Flames. Takes a fortunate bounce, as you mentioned, Pat. Taves and Kane interchange. Kane's trying to go back door to Patrick Sharp, and off the left skate, as you mentioned, of Jonas Brodin. You just never know when you throw it to that area of the ice. You're hoping for a picture-perfect play. But with so many bodies, Pat, and guys standing around, you just get a fortunate bounce, and that's exactly what happens. And Patrick Kane gives the Hawks the lead.
Parcello's long one here, gloved by Backstrom. Patrick Kane is going to be credited with his 15th goal of the year. His second point of the night. He had an assist earlier. So that gives him 11 goals his last 16 games. So when you're hot, you're hot. That's not the way he diagrammed it, but like a scorecard in golf, you don't have to draw a picture.
Well, the head coach of the Minnesota Wild, Mike Yeo, was just really barking at the officials after that last penalty, and the Hawks take advantage.
3 minutes remaining in the third. Well, Saad, an aggressive move to keep it in against Folin. Back of the goal, Scandella. Banked it ahead. Zucker chipped it in. Oduya racing for contact from Pominville now. Into the corner, the Wild dig it out. Koivu moves to the middle. Tried a shot. Good stick there by Saad. It's up and out of play.
Well, the reminders are for the Hawks. Puck's got to get out at the blue line, and you got to get in at the far blue line. You can't try to make any plays. No soft plays through the middle of the ice. If you ice it, you ice it. But you're starting to get to the point within the next probably 45 to 50 seconds, Pat, if the Wild have control of this puck in the Hawk zone, get the extra attacker for the Wild.
Suter's wrister never got through. And Kane laid it to Hjalmarsson. Able to hoist it to center ice. Fontaine tipped it back in there. Hjalmarsson around to Roosevelt. He put it up the boards. Kane able to tap it out.
That's the type of play we're talking about right there. Make sure that puck gets out.
2 minutes remaining in regulation.
Keep an eye on the goaltender here in the next 20 seconds or so.
Suter to Koivu. The dumping came right back to him. And there goes back to the bench. 6 attackers, Minnesota. Hjalmarsson gets the puck. Bounce it out to center. Taves kicks to the stick. Now got help. Here's Hossa with a shot. It didn't get through. So the Wild remain alive. Pominville stripped of it by Hossa at center. 90 seconds to go. Parise hacked it ahead. Now picked up by Koivu. Put it in behind. And now they get things organized. It bounced loose to the corner. Haula rolled it up the boards. That one picked off. Now in behind. Parise rolled it loose.
1 minute remaining regulation time.
And here's Vanek in deep. Thomas Vanek to Zach Parise. Back for Vanek. He threw it in front. Good stick by Saad, who tipped it back the other way. And there's no icing here. The Wild played it back. 45 remaining. With 6 attackers on for the visitors. Vanek rolled it in. Here's a shot. Parise up high off the glass. Pominville put it in behind. Now it's back to Suter. Cleared it ahead. Parise shot hit the side of the net to Granlund. He's checked by Seabrook. Kruger got knocked down. It's loose to the boards. Kane picked it up, rolled it free. Saad chasing it down. Or no, Smith rather. Ben Smith to the open net. Hawks win. Ben Smith, the finisher. The Blackhawks will win the opening game of the 5-game series against the Wild.
Well, the battle in the corner, Pat, with Kruger, Kane, Smith, Oduya, and Seabrook on the ice. Patrick Kane makes the play. The puck's going to come up to him. He's going to get it, and he chips it off the boards, past Ryan Suter, gets it into the middle of the ice, and then Ben Smith's able to stay on his feet and put the puck into the wide open net. And a real gutsy performance by the home team here tonight.
Well, the Wild now dumping this one in. And the clock winds down, and that'll finish it. Blackhawks pick up their 10th victory in their last 11 starts. And their 13th out of 15 starts. So the hot roll continues for the Chicago side with the victory tonight over the Wild.
Bad adjustments in the game, right? We talked about some of the lines being flipped around early when it wasn't going well. It seemed to ignite the team, and then on the back end as well. The defensive pairs changed from the start of the game, so give Coach Q and the staff a little bit of an assist there on changing the momentum of this game when it was in doubt.
Our Lexus Pursuing Player of the game tonight wears the C for the Chicago Blackhawks. Jonathan Toews had a goal. He had a couple of assists, including that one to Marian Hossa. And the Blackhawks pick up the victory here tonight over the Wild. Let's check out the 3-star selection.
It's time now for tonight's 3 stars of the game, brought to you by Bud Light. The number 3 star of the game from the Blackhawks with 1 goal and 2 assists. Number 88, Patrick Kane. The number 2 star of the game from the Blackhawks with 1 goal and 2 assists. Number 19, Jonathan Toews. And the number 1 star of the game from the Blackhawks, number 7, Brent Seabrook. Please turn your attention to the Blackhawks bench, where Luke Stuckmeyer's with tonight's #1 star of the game, Brent Seabrook.
Brent, you guys have faced a lot of adversity with injuries over the last 2 months. How nice is it to dig deep and find a way to win again tonight?
You know, I think it's been great. We've had a pretty tough schedule. I mean, a lot of the teams in the league have tough schedules, but you know, being on the road for quite a few of these you know, wins has been tough. But you know, the guys have dug deep. You know, it's been one of those things. We get guys that have some injuries, and guys keep stepping up. So it's been nice to see, and it's been a lot of fun right now.
That was a dominating second period, almost night and day from the first and second period. In your eyes, what was the difference in the second?
I don't know. I don't know if there was much of a difference. I think we were just, you know, continuing to play. I think we got a lot of confidence in our group and what we can do. And, you know, we found some holes, and we were able to make them pay. So it was nice.
With Duncan Keith out tonight, how did guys adjust? And how about the guys that stepped up to help out without him?
Like I said before, I think, you know, when you have guys out, guys got to step up. And I think, you know, the defense group did a great job tonight, stepping up and making plays and trying to fill that void. I mean, he's a Norris Trophy winner, so it's a tough hole to fill. But I think, you know, with our forwards coming back and helping out, and our defense playing the way they did, and I thought Rance was great tonight, so I think that it'll help well.
Brent, congratulations. Appreciate your time.
All right, thank you.
Brent Seabrook, your #1 star.